friends. Hello, hi, how are you? Hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday today. I probably look a little crazy, and that's because it's past midnight. It's past my bedtime, but guess what we're doing? Playing with makeup. So today is, I have my blankie, and we're just gonna play around with this beautiful palette from the Pigment Palace, and this is their Modern Royalty palette. This was the palette, I went a little blush heavy. This is their, I think this is the first palette from the brand. I think they're a relatively new brand. And this was the palette of the week this week. And this is kind of her. I think it's a beautiful palette. If you guys don't know, if you're new to Tutorial Tuesdays, hello, my name is Hannah. Every Tuesday I pick a palette and I use it all week and then I play with it. And sometimes the tutorial turns out great, and sometimes it's not so great, but either way we have fun. So stick around if you like fun. Today's video, I really want to play this green, this blue, and this purple, and maybe this green as well, because those are the only shades I haven't played with this week. I got some pretty fun use out of this palette. Like, I feel like I was able to use it. I've been having kind of like, I guess I'll talk about it. We're gonna just like get started, honestly. There's not like a huge intro today because I really just want to get playing with this, because I feel like this look might take me a little bit while, because I know I'm gonna play with some crazy colors. So we're just gonna get into it. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Hello. Wow, my foundation is like unclockable right now. I'm sad that I just did this for bed. This foundation is so pretty. Even in person, I don't know how it looks on camera, but in person it looks beautiful. So I'm just going to get her going. Again, my one complaint about this palette is that there is not like a matte white shade that I can just put down all over the eye. I have to say, as far as this palette goes, I'm dipping into the yellow shade right here, Canary, just to start that off, and I'm gonna focus this on the inner corner of my eye. As far as this palette goes, I think it is beautiful. I have to say, I do have and own palettes that are much more pigmented than this. My Colored Rain Vivid Pigments has all of these colors, except they're not shimmers, they're mattes. And it's very pigmented and beautiful. However, this palette is half the price of that. And I think for the price, it's only $25. I think for the price, the pigmentation is beautiful. I also high-key love the message of the brand, which is all about like equality and, you know, showing that all women and all men can just be beautiful regardless of, you know, ability and skin tone and, you know, gender preferences and stuff like that. And I really respect the brand for that. I think that's so cool. Like, I just think that's an awesome message. I'm gonna go in with the bright blue, which is Fame right here, and I do think they perform really well. I was able to create both neutral and colorful looks with this one. I will say, I don't know if it's a great palette for people who, I'm also just patting this in the middle of my upper part of my eye, my crease. I don't know if this would be fantastic. I'm just being completely honest. I do like the palette, and I'm gonna get more use out of it. I know I will. I do really like the way it performs, but I do feel like people who are maybe beginners to makeup and are just wanting to start kind of the journey with color wouldn't like this. I don't think it's a super usable palette for people who are new to color, because it's a little confusing. I'm not like new to color, but I'm not like a color pro. I would say I'm kind of in a mid-range of knowing how to do colors, and at times I would look at this palette and feel kind of stumped, because it's a really cool color scheme. It's hard to find, if you're not good with putting colors together, it could be confusing, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take Green with Envy. Beautiful green shade. I'm gonna pack that on sort of the outer corner here. I mean, I don't know. I like the palette. I don't know if I would like 100% recommend. Kind of like a kaleidoscope eye today. There's something, I feel like Georgia Harris. She does crazy cool eye looks like this a lot. All right, I'm gonna dip back into that yellow shade, and I'm just gonna start blending that more instead of just placing it. I'm gonna kind of blend it into my eye a little bit more. So I have been having a terrible week. If you wanna listen to me complain for the next couple minutes, here I go. I've not been having the best week. It's been a little not the best. Basically, I'll spare you guys the other stuff because honestly a lot of it has just been like mental health stuff and just being kind of sad, just kind of feeling a little down, you know? You know when you get hit with those spells where you're just kind of like, you're just feeling down. Like, I don't know how else to describe it other than feeling like not yourself and just like you don't want to do anything, and it was taking all of my energy to like go to school every day, and so I just couldn't film. Like I just like, I would try and then something would happen and then I couldn't, or then I would come home and I would just be so tired that I would like fall asleep. Like I just couldn't do it. I'm gonna go in with Diamond here, this sparkly white, with a fluffy brush though, and I'm gonna try to just put that over the top here, blend up into my eyebrow just to kind of diffuse it. But then the past couple days were just, I was like gonna get back on track the past couple days because I was just like sick of being sad. So I was like, oh, I'll just like get back on track this weekend and like I'll be fine and like everything will be fine. And then I was running errands on Saturday before I was gonna film, and I was picking up a prescription for my boyfriend at a pharmacy, and I rolled down my window to pick up the prescription, and I went to roll it back up and it wouldn't roll up. It was stuck inside of my car. It was just completely stuck inside of the car, would not roll up. I'm gonna do a cut crease. I'm gonna take my tried and true Catrice Camouflage Cream, and I'm just going to, I'm trying to decide if I want to do more of a halo, like spotlight eye, and then intensify the green and intensify the yellow, because that blue is getting lost, but that green and that yellow look really pretty. So my window wouldn't go up, it was just stuck down. And that would have normally been totally chill, except that was the day before that night we were supposed to be getting windstorms of up to 70 miles per hour. It's like a 3-day windstorm. So, and like a thunder and lightning storm, and like a all around not the time you want to have your car window open. It was going to be snowing too. I couldn't get that fixed in time because it was like 2 when that happened, and it was on a Saturday and all the garages around here closed at like noon at that time. Tried on Sunday. I just had to like wrap my car in, I literally stood outside with plastic wrap. It was wind blowing everywhere, it was freezing, and I'm just like wrapping my entire car door in plastic wrap, praying that I'm able to keep the wind and the water out. Gets worse. So then today, which is Monday, I was like, oh, I gotta drive to school, and my car is still broken. Like the window is still busted. So I had to drive to school in the 70-mile-per-hour wind and snowstorm with my driver's side window completely down. And we don't have gloves here. I don't own a pair of gloves. Don't ask me why, because I live in upstate New York and I totally need to own a pair of gloves, but I just don't. We couldn't find them anywhere. And so I had this pair of like worker gloves that I was trying to wear while I was driving so my hands wouldn't freeze, but they were so big on me that I couldn't drive. It was just a bad day. Like I was just like so miserable. And every time I had to like switch buildings to like go to a class or something, I had to like put a towel over my window and close my car door in it so that way my it would be somewhat protected, and I looked like a fool. I'm dipping into the shade Fairy. That was just one thing, but it was a really, really annoying thing that happened. Oh my gosh, I was literally, oh, that's beautiful. That emerald green. Oh, that is pretty. I'm such a sucker for shimmers. Oh my god, I'm so picky about mattes, but anything shimmery, I'm just like, I just freak out. I love it. And Charles's car is currently in the shop being fixed. So tomorrow I actually was able to get in with the dealership who made my car back in 2006, because that's where my car is from, the 2006 Elantra, where I was able to like get in with that dealership to have them fix it, because I called a bunch of mechanics and they were like, we don't do that. Like people did like glass repair or they did like car repairs, but nobody had somebody that could just like fix a car window that fell. Like I guess that's not like a normal, like it doesn't happen a ton enough for them to have a technician on hand. So I got him with the dealership, but because Charles doesn't have a car, I'm just gonna have to sit at the dealership and sort of wait for for my car to be done, which normally I would be fine with. Like I can sit on my phone for hours and just entertain myself. But the last time I had to go into a dealership, I've been having the worst car problems. My car had a flat like a few weeks ago and it was really annoying. It was like the second week of classes. I had to have my friend come pick me up. It was super, super annoying and not fun. This is kind of a fun St. Patrick's Day look. Is St. Patrick's Day coming up? This yellow is not pigmented enough though. It's really not. It's so hard to build up, and she is not as pigmented as I would like her to be. And then I had to take it into the shop, and I get in and they're like, oh, your rim is bent. I don't think I've told this story. This was terrible. This was like one of the worst days of my life. They're like, oh, your rim is bent, so we need to put on a new rim. And I was like, fine, whatever. I had class at like 3:30 that day. And this was, oh my God, this is so bad. This was another day where it was an ice storm this day. I had class at 3:30 and Charles had class at like 5 or something. But we went in at like 11:30 a.m. So we were both like, oh, this will be totally fine. Like, cause I've never been in a tire shop more than like 45 minutes in my life. And he goes, we need to get you a new rim. And I was like, oh, that's fine. You know, whatever, put it on. And they were like, oh no, we have to order it from this separate place and they have to bring it over to us. And like, cause like we outsource and they'll walk it over. And I was like, oh, okay, like how long do you think that'll take? He was like, oh, like 45 minutes. And so there was a Denny's like right down the road. So Charles and I were like, oh, let's just go to get Denny's, get lunch, calm down, because I was really stressed about my car. We were like, let's go get Denny's, let's all chill, and then we'll come back and the car will be ready and we can go home. We can maybe even nap before class, because we had to get up really early that day. And so we were doing that, and then we get back and we're just sitting there for like an hour. And finally Charles goes up to the guy, and Charles is not that guy. Like, Charles is not the type of guy that tries to have confrontation with anybody. He doesn't want to inconvenience anybody who's ever working. I'm kind of a can I speak to your manager type of girl. Like, if somebody really makes me mad, or if it's like out of their control, I understand. But this guy was being a dick. And so Charles goes up and he's like, okay, man, like what's going on? Like, it's been like 2 hours. And he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna call right now and check. And so we're like, we've been waiting here for 2 hours, sitting in the waiting room. You can see us. Like, you can see that we're sitting right in front of you. And you didn't think to call sooner. And so he calls and he goes, okay, it's on the way. It's on the way. And we're like, okay, like, we'll wait. He's like, they said 10 minutes. We're like, okay. Like half an hour goes by, 45 minutes goes by. 45 minutes later, Charles is like, dude, like, what is going on? I can see my car just sitting there, nothing being worked on. He's like, what is going on? And guy is like, hold on, man, let me call again. And we're like, okay. And at this point, like, I've already missed my class, my 3:30 class. Like, my 3:30 class has gone and passed, which I was already pissed off about because I hate missing class. It's like my biggest thing. I hate missing class. And then the guy is like, apparently a truck ran into a thing and there was a fire at the repair shop, so now it's gonna be a while. And we were like, how are you just finding this out if you've allegedly been calling this whole time? So, long story short, we were there for a very long time. Charles actually had to leave me there and go get a ride with his dad because it was taking so long, and he can't miss any of his classes because he's in master's classes, and if you miss like one, you're like kicked out or something, I don't know. And so Charles had to leave me, and my phone was dead. This was before I got my new phone, so my old phone was dead. And Charles had to give me his phone, and I got out of there. I literally went there at 11:30 and I got it at 5:30. There were 6 hours waiting for this. Oh, and at the end of it, they get the new rim. I see the guy walk up, bring them the rim, and then they put it on, and then they're like, yeah, by the way, you need a new tire too. Your tire's just completely bent. And I was just like, put it on. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I want to leave. And then he was like, oh, I'll give you a discount for your weight. And I was like, oh. And at this point, I'm alone. And if you're a girl and you've been alone in a mechanic shop, you know how scary of an experience that is, because you just feel like at every point they're going to take advantage of you. And this guy was like, oh, I'll give you a discount for having to wait. And I was like, oh, well, that's literally the least you could do. So thank you. Because it was ridiculous. And they weren't updating us. I think that was the part that infuriated me. If they had just kept us updated, I would have been so much more understanding. But the fact that we were just sitting there waiting and like nothing is happening, I was just so frustrated. This is me ranting, but like I was so mad. This was legitimately, I felt like I was in purgatory and we were just watching HGTV for like 6 hours. I was just sitting there. So I'm actually gonna do the reverse on my bottom. So I'm gonna start with the yellow and put that in my lower outer corner of my lower lash. Yeah, it was the worst day. But he was like, oh, I'm gonna give you a discount for having to wait so long. And I was like, wow, again, least you could do. Does this look stupid, or am I stupid? It looks good in the mirror, but I feel like on camera it doesn't look that great. And then he goes, okay, I look at the bill later, and he charged me like $40 for tire insurance that I'd never asked for. He just put it on my, because I was wondering, I was like, man, this is still really expensive considering you're giving me a discount. Like, this seems like what it should be without the discount. He just compensated for giving me the discount by also making me pay for the tire insurance without asking. So that was terrible. It was legitimately so bad. I left and I called my mom and I just like cried. Just like literally cried because I was so overwhelmed after sitting there for so long. And I called my dad first to ask him about something, and he was like, oh, poor you have to be an adult. And I was like, Dad, I was like, this is not the time. Okay, this is not turning out what I thought it was gonna create when I came into this. I'm gonna go back into that blue that kind of disappeared, and I'm gonna try to sort of just like blend it in here a little bit more, up the middle. Because I feel like there's you can see the really intense line. So yeah, some really bad car experiences lately. So going to the dealership tomorrow, when you guys are watching this, when this goes live, I might still be in the dealership, just missing my class. And there's just nothing I can do about it. So I'm gonna deepen up that green again. These colors just aren't staying pigmented. I don't know if it's something I'm doing. Nothing is like staying as pigmented. You know, it's weird. I'm gonna do like my eyelashes and stuff, but I have to say, like, I actually really liked this palette until I did this look, and I don't love this look. I definitely would wear it to like a St. Patrick's Day parade. I loved the way that like the pink and the yellow, even the yellow without all of the greens and blues, I liked the way it performed. This orange, I loved how it performed. This pink shimmer Eris is, I mean, it's so pretty. It's like a beautiful peachy shimmer. The gold crown was beautiful. I even liked the kind of black brown right here, velvet. So I'm a little sad that this look turned out like Aquaman, but you know, you gotta play with every color. So I'm gonna throw on lashes and everything, not lashes, but mascara, and then I will be back and I'll do final thoughts. So this is the look all completed. I did decide to tightline. I never do this, but I actually think it works with this look. I didn't want to go and do like a full wing because that always makes my eye looks worse because I suck at them. But I decided to just take my gel liner and really tight line my top lash as well as my bottom, and I actually think it made the look so much better. That's kind of my go-to trick whenever a look isn't looking fantastic. I just tight line it really with like a black liner. Somehow that helps pull things together. I also went really hard with my lower mascara, which I don't typically do, and my upper mascara, like loaded all of that on. I went with just a really simple nude lip because I just felt like it's like a shamrock look. You guys can see, I'll do a close-up. I'll even turn the lights up a little bit so you guys can see. I hope you guys can see how the yellow is not sticking amazingly well in my inner corner. I layered it on. I don't know what else I could do to make that work. The blue, I mean, it kind of got lost within the green. I don't know. I do like this though, but I like it so much more with the tight line. Like, I just really feel like it made my eyes pop out a little bit more, and it makes the look feel a little bit more editorial. Like, I'm not really an editorial person though. Like, I'm not really like making looks just for Instagram. I think too, if you bought little shamrock stickers and you put them right on the outer, I got this trick from somebody after I tried to do the heart tutorial. They were like, just use stickers, then rip them off. And I was like, that is literally genius. If you got little shamrock like stickers and you put them on the screen and then you ripped it off, I feel like this would be such a cute look for St. Patrick's Day. So cute, except a different yellow because I don't like this one. I'm gonna zoom you guys out and we'll do final thoughts on the palette, and then we'll pick next palette of the week. So this is how she looks. I actually think it's kind of cute. I don't know, like, it's a little bit different. I've been trying to play with greens more, and I think this was actually still pretty cute. Last week I played with greens but kept it really in my comfort zone. This week I feel like I played with greens but kept it out of my comfort zone completely with the sort of the style of the makeup, and I still feel like it looks pretty decent. Yeah, I really like this. I think it's cute. As far as this palette goes, I think for $25, it's good. I think some of these shades are not as pigmented as I would like, specifically the matte shades. I think the shimmers are beautiful, but I love a shimmer. Shimmers are my thing. I think this green matte is really nice, as is this pink, and these two more neutral tones and this orange are great. I was not a fan of the yellow and the blue. However, for $25 for not loving two shades, I feel like that's pretty good. I do think overall this is a cute eye look. I would post a selfie of this eye look on Instagram. That's kind of how I gauge it. Like, I think it's cute enough that I would wear it out or do something with it. I just hate that the yellow wouldn't stick to my inner corner. It was very frustrating. That was, you can see, like, I dug into this thing. Just wouldn't come out. But I overall think the palette is really nice. I love that it's a new brand. I'm loving supporting newer brands lately. I think it's so great to see people coming out with stuff that's innovative. The packaging on this alone is like, it's like a work of art. Like, it's beautiful. And overall, I think it was good. I'd be interested to see more from the Pigment Palace and more of what they come out with, because I know this was kind of their first release. So I'm interested to see more of what they have. I'll obviously have this link down below, along with everything else I'm wearing on my face. And now let's go pick the next palette of the week. Alright, so for this coming week, I am going to be playing with the BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. I bought this when it first released because I do think it's so cute and pretty, and it's a really solid palette from BH. It's got some wild colors, but it's also got some neutrals that I think are fun. And I used this a little bit last summer when I bought it, but I haven't used it since. And I feel like this one is one that kind of gets forgotten. I have a drawer for my bigger palettes, a drawer for my medium palettes, and a little thing over there for my small palettes. This kind of goes in the big drawer palette just because that's where it fit, but I kind of feel like that's made me not use it because I like forget it's in there. So I would like to play with this. I know this was really popular last summer too, so I'm sure some of you guys picked this up and like haven't used it maybe, or do. I don't know. But yeah, I tried to do the thing where I take selfies this week. I took one, I put it on my Instagram. It was actually a really cute picture using the Modern Royalty palette. So if you guys want to go check that out, you can check out my Instagram. I'm gonna try to document the weekly palette updates there, just because I feel like it'll be easier. I might make a whole story for like weekly palette update situations. But yeah, this will be the palette I'll be using for the week, and what the Tutorial Tuesday will be on next week. And then we got a bunch of new palettes coming in because for my birthday received a lot of different stuff. So for the next couple months, it's gonna be new-ish stuff. And yeah. I love you guys so much. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just like, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I'm wearing on my face will be linked down below. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!